In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use the search bar and how to filter your data. So the search bar and filters are found in the little magnifying glass icon, and if you click on that, the search bar opens. Here you can search for data by river name, by site name, or by taxon name. I'm interested in data for the Cape Galaxias, so I type in the first part of its scientific name and it auto-populates with the different options. Cape Galaxias is what I want, so I click on that, and it then filters the data on FBIS for that taxon. You can see there are 615 records, and it shows you the location of those data points. There's also options to drill down a little bit deeper into the data in those sites or the data for that taxon, but we'll come back to that in another tutorial. You can use the little reset button to reset your search in between searches. Next, we move down into the filters. The first one is module, and this allows you to specify if you're interested in fish data or invertebrate data or algae data as well. And it also lets you specify abiotic data. So if I turn on the fish module and I turn on abiotic data and hit apply, it's going to filter FBIS for data that has fish occurrences and companion abiotic data as well. 5,009 records for that combination. Reset. The next filter is by data sources. The default on FBIS is FBIS data, and these are data that have been uploaded directly to the platform, but you can also include data from GBIF in your search as well, which adds a lot more data to your searches. You hit apply. The next filter is by validation status, and this is an option to include validated data only in your search, and these are records that have been validated by experts, or you might wish to include all data. And similarly, you're able to include only data that have been entered by SASS accredited practitioners or all SASS data. You can filter the data temporally. For example, I might be interested in data more recent than 2005 and perhaps in the months only of January, February, and March. And if I apply that temporal filter, then it narrows down the number of records in my search. Then moving on to the spatial filters, there's a set of different spatial filters, for example, including filters like geomorphological zone, different catchments, and by clicking on a spatial filter, it lets you drill down into the different options for that filter. So here for catchment, you could filter by primary catchment or all the way through to quinary catchment. There's also management layers like water management areas, critical biodiversity areas, and FEPAs, strategic water source areas, and present ecological state data from the recent National Biodiversity Assessment. Let's say I'm interested in data for the Western Cape province only. I'd open the Province tab, activate Western Cape, and hit search. And then it'll filter my data by the Western Cape province only. And the extent of your filtering is indicated by a red boundary around your data. And you can see here, I have the data for Western Cape province only. Each time you apply a filter, the bar lights up yellow, and you may apply a spatial filter and a temporal filter at the same time, and then you'll see that both the spatial and the filter and the temporal bars light up yellow. Let me reset my search again. You can filter the data also by SASS ecological category, so you might be interested in sites only that are in a natural condition, so you just turn that on and hit apply, and that narrows your data down to a subset of the sites that fall within the natural ecological category. You can filter by origin and endemism, non-native species only you might be interested in, or you might want to look at native species, and you may want to filter for all native species or one of the 5 different endemism categories available on FBIS. And these endemism categories have little definitions that pop up if you hover over those categories. You can filter by conservation status, which includes the different IUCN Red List categories. And you can also filter by reference category. And there's 4 main reference categories included on FBIS: databases, scientific articles, reports and thesis, or unpublished data. You can filter by study references. I might be interested in just the data from this specific publication by Olaf Vail and colleagues, and then I'd select that and hit apply. Or I might be interested in data entered from a specific collector or owner. For example, data from Bruce Paxton, and hit apply. And it'll filter by Bruce's data.